Hey everybody, John Huber here, coming right back at you, talking about this wonderful thing of education, Maryland K through 12 education. Like I said before, boy, they really got their hands full, and they're trying to, and you know, God bless them. It just you could just imagine being in their position trying to figure all this out. It's very difficult for the reasons I've pointed out because of the just the political aspect of it and the AB rotation or 1 day, 2 day rotation, whatever they're working on, getting the parents involved. It's really, really difficult, especially for the really, really large counties. Baltimore County, Anne Arundel's pretty large, but Baltimore County is just huge. So to figure all this out for them is tough. Anyway, my last point on all this is, what is the actual instruction going to look like? Is it going to be those Google Meets like they did in Baltimore County, or the Google Classrooms like they were doing in my home county of Anne Arundel County? No, it's probably going to be some type of a combination of both. Let me first of all define two quick terms that you're probably going to hear a lot of. There's what's called synchronous learning or asynchronous learning. Synchronous learning is, just like a synchronize, to sync your thing means together. Synchronous learning means you're all together. That's the Google Meet, the Zoom, the Google Classroom. We're not Google Classroom, but Zoom, Microsoft Teams, whatever you use. Teachers on there, teachers presenting, teachers directing the lesson. All of the kids are logged in. Attendance is taken. Speaking of attendance, I'll get that in a second. Attendance is taken. It's a class. That's called synchronous learning. Okay? Asynchronous learning, for those of you who remember your prefixes and suffix, means without. A means without or absence of. So asynchronous learning means you're not synchronized. This is more of the thing, kind of like what Baltimore County did, where teacher posts a lesson, gives you a submission date. The work is done by the students on their own time. They finish the assignment, they post it, teacher grades it, gives them feedback, and then they move on. Kid kind of works at his or her own pace. So that's called asynchronous learning. Okay? I think what you're going to see is a combination of both. They've essentially laid out three options for you. One is, all three are what they call blended learning, which is going to be a combination of both. In the one here, the first one is blended learning, partially asynchronous use of a vendor course. Discovery Ed, for example, does a handful of lessons on the Earth, and the county subscribes to that, so the kids have to do that like 80% of the time, I think, and then at least 20% of the time, the teacher will conduct a synchronous lesson to support that, both by the teacher and as well as all the other external sources or external resources. So that's one where you subscribe to some type of a program like that through a vendor course. Option two is that the blended learning can be delivered synchronously, which is, somebody tell me which one it is, synchronously, I don't know. Together, they're going to deliver it together while broadcasting to the students in remote locations. So the teacher in the classroom, conducting lesson, camera in the room, half, quarter, third, whatever, kids are in the room. The other kids are home on their computers following along in the lesson. And then this is also supported by asynchronous lesson postings, homework. Think of asynchronous lessons as like homework. They're just like homework. They give you the lesson, you do it on your own. So that's the second option. The third option is the blended learning can be delivered through synchronous instruction to students by the local school system, supported by asynchronous lessons and resources aligned with the local school curriculum. So that would be, and I would suspect that's probably where Baltimore County is going to go. I'm not terribly familiar with some of the other ones, but teacher conducts lesson, takes attendance, and then also provides other activities to do on their own time until the next class. So that's the third option. these are just the options that the county is, or that the state is providing to the county. I'm sure the state is more than willing to have any creativity as long as it meets their guidelines. This is what we're looking at here, folks. This is where we're headed for education in the fall. So, the idea of flipping the switch and everybody coming back, that is not happening anytime soon. I would be shocked if this entire school year, if at all during this entire school year, these kids came in a traditional sense. Attendance. I mentioned attendance. Part of the plan that the state gave to the local jurisdictions specifically said a means for attendance for students during remote learning must be implemented. So they're going to take attendance while they're at home. So they have to be engaged in the instruction. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for all those involved. There doesn't seem to be any. There's concerns about daycare and parents and childcare, especially for the teachers and all this. It's just a mess. So the idea that Maryland's doing much better in terms of the COVID-19 coronavirus whatnot, but this is not going away anytime soon. I expect this entire 2021 school year to be delivered like this, and maybe, just maybe, the 21-22 school year might return to normal. That's my personal opinion. If you disagree, you have any other information, I'd love to hear from you, as always. And don't forget, what about homeschooling? You think, man, why do I need them? Right? I'm working from home. I've got my kids at home. I don't need this crap. I want to just do it on my own. And when the smoke all clears, I'll go back to doing the regular school thing. Give me a shout. Let me know you're interested. Put it on my, send me a message there. Let me know you're interested. I'll be happy to talk to you and start pointing in the right direction, because I'm starting to do some consulting on some homeschooling. So I'd love to hear from you about that. Anyway, that wraps it up. I'll be seeing you shortly, because I got a lot more information coming out for you about education as we get moving. Thanks. Have a great day.